Hey, Abnormal Investigations. Everything's looking really good. The two video drops that we're doing a day are doing excellent. Our algorithm is a lot higher. We've actually almost tripled everything. I want to thank you all for watching, hitting that like button. That's making such a huge difference, and you're fixing to see a big difference coming in what we're doing because of your support. This is going to open doors for me that I did not have opened, and we're going to pursue it. Uh, and it's because of you guys hitting the likes and watching these two videos. You guys have trended every video we have dropped since the beginning of this month. Every double video. All of the shorts we're doing are trending. Kaylee's shorts are trending. I mean, it's huge, guys. It's going to open a door, I'm telling you. And it's going to be great. We're gonna do big things. You just watch. It's coming. While I was out squirrel hunting, I found an abandoned home in the middle of the woods. I decided to explore it. As I stepped into the musty darkness of the abandoned home, a shiver ran down my spine. The creaking of the old wooden floorboards beneath my feet seemed to echo through the deserted halls. I had been exploring the property for hours, my curiosity getting the better of me, but it was what I thought I heard upstairs that made my heart race. A faint rustling like footsteps. I told myself it was just animals, but the sound sent a chill down my spine. And then, without warning, I heard it, a loud thud followed by the sound of something crashing through the upstairs window. My heart skipped a beat as I realized that whatever had made the noise was now outside and possibly closing in on me. I slammed the creaky door shut, my hands trembling as I grasped the rusty doorknob. I held my breath, expecting the creature to crash against the door and try to force its way in. But instead, I was met with an eerie silence, and I was only armed with my .410 squirrel gun. And then the sound of footsteps, heavy, deliberate footsteps circling around the house. It was as if whatever had jumped from the window was now pacing outside, waiting for its moment to strike. I held the door firm, my heart racing with fear as the footsteps seemed to grow louder and closer. I knew I had to get out of there, but my legs felt like lead, refusing to move. I was trapped alone and defenseless against the unknown terror outside. As I finally summoned the courage to leave the house, the footsteps had ceased. An oppressive silence had fallen, like a shroud over the property. I felt like I was being watched. The weight of an unseen eyes were upon me. Every snap of a twig or rustle of leaves made me jump, my heart racing with anticipation, but I saw nothing, no sign of movement, no glimpse of a shadowy figure lurking in the trees. It was just as if the creature had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only the echoes of my own fearful imagination. Yet the sense of being followed persisted, a creeping dread that settled in the pit of my stomach like a cold stone. I knew I had to get out of there, to flee from the suffocating grip of that old haunted place. That night, as I lay in bed trying to shake off the lingering fear, the sudden fear came back with the barking of my dog outside, sent a chill down my spine. The angry, insistent yelps seemed to pierce the darkness, like a warning or a challenge. I knew my dog, a gentle soul. He didn't bark without a reason. Something had triggered his alarm, something that had invaded his territory. My heart racing, I crept to the window and I peered out into the darkness. But I saw nothing. The barking continued, more frantic and urgent, as if my dog was trying to chase away the shadows. I knew then that I wasn't alone, that something was out there, lurking just beyond the reach of my porch light's faint glow. As I stood frozen at the window, my dog's barking growing more and more vicious, I heard the unmistakable sound of the back door knob slowly turning. The creaking of the old door seemed to echo through the silent night, like a sinister whisper in my ear. My heart raced as I realized that something was methodically checking my doors, searching for any way into my house. The deliberate slowness of the movement sent a chill down my spine, as if whatever was on the other side was savoring the moment, enjoying my fear. I was paralyzed with terror, unable to move or speak. As the knob turned further, the door creaked open with a dreadful slowness, as if it was the darkness itself, creeping in on my sanctuary, threatening to consume me whole. As the door creaked open, my fear turned to horror, but Before whatever was on the other side could take another step, my Rottweiler, sensing my terror, sprang into action. With a fierce growl, he launched himself at the intruder. His jaws closing with a loud snap, the creature let out a blood-curdling scream, a sound that was both human and animal, yet neither. The yelps and snarls that followed were a chaotic mix of dog and creature, each inflicting pain on one another. I was frozen in shock, my heart racing with fear as the two combatants thrashed about in the darkness. The scream still echoes in my mind, a haunting reminder of the terror that lurked outside my door that night. As the porch light flickered to life, I caught a glimpse of the creature, and my blood ran cold. It was only about 3 feet tall, but its twisted form seemed to shift and move like a living shadow. Its body was grotesque, of a possum and a human, with huge, bulbous eyes that glowed like embers in the dark. The scream still echoing in my mind, I froze in terror, unable to look away from the abomination that lurked mere feet from my door. Its gaze seemed to lock onto me, and I felt a creeping sense of dread, as if it was sizing me up for the kill. My dog's snarls and yelps seemed to fade into the background as I started to face the pure horror. My dog then ran past me into the house, past the door, my mind reeling with the implications of what was I seeing. As the creature scrambled up the privacy fence with a unnatural agility, I felt a chill run down my spine. It vanished into the darkness of the woods, leaving me alone with more questions than answers. I thought to myself, what the hell, a possum mixed with a human running on 2 legs that's 3 foot tall? What the hell is this? My dog Bandit seemed shaken but unarmed, and I breathed a sigh of relief as I ushered him inside safety. But the memory of those glowing eyes lingered, and I couldn't shake the feeling that the creature has indeed followed me home from that forsaken old house. Had I unwittingly led it to my doorstep like a dark magnet drawing a malevolence to my very own sanctuary? The thought sent a shiver down my back. I was afraid. Very afraid. Have I brought something to my home that I can now get rid of? It's been 2 weeks, and I've not had another sighting of it. The dog sometimes sniffs the air, or sometimes will growl low, but he hasn't had any barking fits like he has. What do you think? I'd say it's probably still around. It hasn't probably came into your yard, but your dog is definitely getting its scent, and it's upsetting your dog, but I don't think it's in your yard anymore. I think it's still stalking you. And I would fix the porch light immediately. I would get me a lot brighter light out there, and I think you could probably get rid of it. Light seems to be something they don't like. That would just be my suggestion to you, and leaving your dog inside at night now that you know there's a viable threat out there. And thank you for sharing your story. That's a crazy story. I'm glad you made it home okay. And, you're right. Been out with a 410 with just birdshot in it. You don't got much penetration there at all. So you're very lucky you made it out of there. I would not go into structures I found if I were you guys, if I didn't know who owned them or if they were abandoned, because this was probably its house, and you went into its house, and it was going to come into your house. Just my guess. Until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner, and we'll see you on the next one.